On Wednesday, November 18th, the St. Martin's University Fine and Performing Arts Department collaborated to present a performance of John Cage's 4 minutes and 33 seconds. If you're unfamiliar with this work, 4 minutes and 33 seconds is that length of silence. Or another way of thinking about it is mainly the absence of silence. John Cage was sort of a revolutionary in the middle of the 20th century as a composer who he always tried to push the boundaries of what art or music could be. And this idea that silence doesn't really exist, even in the absence of melody or harmony or rhythm, might still be music, might still be art. So Professor Bourne and I decided that this semester was really a great, it presented a great opportunity to do this. It's a very iconic work. And of course it doesn't get really performed very often. This semester, artists, performers across the globe are really rendered silent due to the pandemic, as I'm sure we're all experiencing here this Friday faculty lunch. We are not able to engage with the arts the way that we all want to or do on a regular basis. And yet the absence of art can be art itself if we wrap our heads around it in that way. So here's just a little bit of more information about John Cage and about this piece. And thank you for your interest and for taking part in the arts, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense during this time or feel the way it normally does feel. It was composed in 1952 for any instrument or combination of instruments, and the score instructs performers not to play their instruments during the entire duration of the piece throughout the 3 movements. John Cage was among several other 20th century composers and artists who challenged the established definitions of what art could be. Although the piece is commonly perceived as 4 minutes, 33 seconds of silence, it was conceived around the idea that any sounds, even the absence of sound, may constitute music. And so 4 minutes and 33 seconds consists of the sounds of the environment that the listeners hear while it is performed. Upon reflection, Cage believed that 4 minutes and 33 seconds was his most important work, although at the time the first audience for the work struggled to understand. He later recalled, "They missed the point. There's no such thing as silence. What they thought was silence, because they didn't know how to listen, was full of accidental sounds. You could hear the wind stirring outside during the first movement. During the second movement, raindrops began pattering the roof, and during the third, the people themselves made all kinds of interesting sounds as they talked or walked out." We performed this iconic work for our community, for ourselves, and let it be any number of things. Of course, it can be a poignant moment of forced silence, reflecting the time in which all artists live. But it may also be a time of rest, a time to reflect, a time to mourn, a time to unplug, and maybe it's just a few minutes to prepare for the season and for the unknown that will follow.